Jack, my company name is PetSec Energy Limited. I'm also associated with a company called Oceana Mining. And PetSec explores for oil and gas in the United States, mainly in the Gulf of Mexico, and now onshore in Canada, in Texas, and Oceana Gold mines gold in New Zealand, and is developing a gold copper deposit in the Philippines that I and my people discovered 15 years ago now. Well, on the mining side, we mine for gold and we're mining copper soon. And in my mining career, I've always looked at just gold and copper, being very easy elements to extract and easy to sell. And on the oil side, we predominantly produce natural gas in the United States and some oil, but we're now looking to establish ourselves in the extraction of oil from shale, which will be a very large source of oil for the world in the near future, I believe. I got started in mining as I was raised in the country and I loved exploring, but when I came to the city and went to university, I graduated in geology and geophysics, and that allowed me to fly all around the world and to explore really interesting countries, exploring for gold, copper, silver, lead, zinc, diamonds, uranium. I've explored for all of those things in Australia and in many places around the world. And for oil and gas, not quite as exciting because you don't get out into as interesting domain. You tend to do a lot more exploration in your office. But it can be just as exciting when you're in that world. Only to a limited extent. Antarctica is a very large landmass, and because it's covered with ice most of the time, it's very difficult for people to explore it. It's similar to exploration in the northern part of Alaska, Canada, and Russia, Norway, Sweden, Finland, all places where people have explored and will find minerals. Antarctica, as I understand it, is not that dissimilar to Australia. Has potential for a great deal of mineral resources, but it also has quite a bit of potential for oil and gas. I think I'd be interested in gold exploration in Antarctica. There's also very good nickel and cobalt exploration, I believe. And I'd also be interested in oil exploration. It's a very, because of the harsh environment, it would be a very expensive place in which to explore. So most of the exploration that you've seen up to date has been really scientific. You're determining what has been the climate of the world over the last millions of years, the sedimentology of the country to determine what the geological history of the world has been. Because everything has been, because it's covered in ice, it's very much like its own museum. It depends on the grade, and eventually technology will allow you to extract minerals just about anywhere. People are now talking about extracting minerals from the depth of the ocean and starting to do that when you have very deep water, and you have robots on the bottom of the ocean floor picking up nodules of iron ore and manganese, and some of these have gold associated with it. And people are talking about doing this on Mars sometime in the future. It's not beyond the capacity of mankind to think of technological changes that allow it to do almost anything. So exploration in Antarctica will be very difficult because it is so cold and covered in ice. Access is difficult by ship, but it's not impossible, and gradually as resources are required in the world, people will explore for it. is such that it interferes with such a very tiny amount of the landscape, and the rules for mining now, because people are much more aware of what damage can be made, is so exacting that you can mine in most places without causing very much damage at all. In large part, if you look at it, mining causes much less damage than farming or urban development. I don't think that we would, because there are so many opportunities outside of Antarctica in a much more pleasant environment. It's very, very cold down there. It costs a great deal of money to maintain equipment and people. But I'm sure that a lot of exploration will initially be done by the major powers that have ownership of the territory, like America, Russia. So you will find that they will do the first exploration. And once they've done their first pass, everyone has an understanding. Sometime in the future, it will make it. It's certainly a wonderful place to visit. I have a few friends who've gone down there, been on Antarctic missions, where they spend a whole year down there. They find it's just a wonderful place. It's a bit like being in a desert in a way. It's quiet. There's a spiritual feeling to it, like being in high desert. So the answer to that is yes, at some time in the future. That's the end of your questions. Well, thank you very much, Jack. I enjoyed it. Thank you very much. And I hope you will become excited about exploration, where it can take you, and the great good that it does our humanity. Because when you think about it, you look around you, everything that you live in, or move in, or eat from, is made in large part either from metals or from oil and gas. Remember, oil and gas are just dead animals being cooked up in the Earth's surface. I know that some people get concerned about oil, but you must just think of it as animal food. Thank you very much. I wish you all the very best, Jack.